As we continue to learn about the user interface, let's take a closer look at how you can control playback in Arrangement View. So I've got the Arrangement View project open that we've been using in the last few videos. And I can set my start point a few different ways. For example, if I want to go to the beginning of the live set, I can do that by clicking with my mouse near the beginning, or I can click the stop button in the control bar, or a third way to do that is to press the home key on your computer keyboard. Now, if I want to set a start point within the live set, I can select one of my clips and then start playback at the beginning of that clip by pressing my spacebar to start and stop playback. Now, if I want to set playback within this clip, I'll need to increase the track height, and I'll do that by clicking on the triangle here on the track header. And now I can move my cursor to the bottom half of the clip, and I can click and select a start point at that point. Now, I could have set my start point at the same place without increasing the track height by just clicking in one of the empty areas on one of the tracks that doesn't have a clip in that area. Now, as I'm doing this, I want to point out that I've got a start point here that you can see blinking, and then I've got this playhead that goes all the way across this content area. Now, you'll notice that when I hit my space bar, the playhead is going to return to the previous start point. If I want to have playback continue from my stop point, I can do that by holding down my Shift key and pressing the space bar. Now, another way that I could have started the playback from within this clip would have been to move my cursor up here in the bottom half of the ruler. And when I do that, you'll notice that I get this speaker icon. And if I click, playback will start from that point. Now, on your system, when you move your cursor up there, you may not see that speaker icon. And that's because of one of the preferences that you can make in settings. So let's go take a look. I'm going to hold down my Command key and press the comma key. That would be Control comma on a PC. And in the display and input area, I want to point out that you have this option for permanent scrub areas, and that is enabled. If I turn that off and I move my cursor into the bottom half of the ruler, you'll notice that I only get the magnifying glass. It doesn't matter where I put it. But if I hold my Shift key down when I do that, I want you to notice that I get that scrub icon back. So you can do it either way, but I prefer to leave that permanent scrub areas turned on. Now, while we're here, I'll point out that we also have a setting here for follow behavior. So let's talk about that. So if I zoom in here and set my playback point over here near the end of the area that I can view, when I hit play, something's going to happen to keep that playback cursor in view, and that's because the follow switch is enabled here in the control bar. So let me hit play. So what just happened is the follow actions caused the playback cursor to page. Let's go back into our settings area. So I'll go Command comma again, and I'm going to go to that follow behavior, and I'm going to click that and turn that to scroll. And again, I'll put my cursor over here near the end. Watch what happens when I hit play now. You'll notice that the playback cursor stays centered in our view and the content scrolls behind it. Yeah, for some reason I find that a little bit annoying, so I'm going to go back in and put that back on page. All right, let me zoom all the way back out by hitting my W key. And let's talk about loop playback. So I can turn on loop playback by making a selection and then pressing Command L. That would be Control L on a PC. And you'll notice that that turned on the loop switch, and it also set the loop brace to my selection. So now when I hit play, it should just repeat this one measure. Okay, so that's working. Now, if you want to adjust the length of the loop brace up here, you can do that by moving your cursor to the end of the loop brace and then dragging left or right to extend or decrease the length of the loop brace. I can also do that by key command by holding down my command key on a Mac or the control key on a PC and using your right and left arrows. So right will extend the length and left will decrease the length of your loop brace. You can also move that loop brace around by clicking in the middle of it and dragging that where you want to go, or just by using your right and left arrows to move it around. Now I can disable loop playback again by going Command L on the Mac or Control L on the PC. So understanding how to manage playback may seem simple, but it's an important part of feeling in control of a program like Live 12.